Okay, this is Child Development 66, and it's the orientation. All right, and then I'm going to share my screen. And what you can do, you can either pin me to see it big, but I use different software than Zoom, and it only shows me, and it doesn't show the students, and that way I can show it from semester to semester. Okay, so first, this is the home page. So I know you can't get in there yet, and so um, it's just, have you taken an online class before? Yeah, so this is not new to you. But so what I do is I have these boxes with the weeks, and so you can just click in wherever you want. And so the first semester, the first week is just orienting people to the class and being online. And so if that's not new to you, you can skip that part. And so the way I've set this up is I've got the main classes here, and again that's the orientation module. And so I've got the reading assignments at the beginning of each module and each week. And I'd say about a third of the class is already published, so you can see everything in there. And I always have an overview page that tells you what you're going to learn, what's due, when. And so it's all here. And then I've got the calendar part, and it's usually one discussion and one weekly assignment every week. And the chapters they're about 30 pages each. And in general you read one, but in the beginning you read two. And there's information about the book, and then I always have links to all of the other things that you need for that week. And because it's still COVID, these are some videos you can use for your observation. Because in this class, we're designing curriculum, and we have to design, we have to write a learning story. And so the final learning story is based on a video or on any kid that you can, any child that you can observe. And we go over it and over it. And so those are there for you if you don't have access to children. And what else about this class? So I tend to get a lot of students who come in at different points in their careers. And so some of them have, this is their first child development class. And for some of them, this is their last one. And so I have these bonus modules to catch you up if there's something that you didn't learn in your other classes. And so there's one on the early learning system, and then on the framework books. Those are what California wrote to help teachers design curriculum. And so they're aligned with the different learning domains like social and cognitive, and I think there's a motor one. And then this one, the DRDP, is Desired Results Developmental Profile, is the assessment tool that California uses to assess the developmental progress of children. And it's aligned with the framework book. And so this describes it all and tells you all about it. And so I refer to those a lot in the class. And so those just tell you about them and links for downloads. And then I've got this other extra module or page really, and it's got all the links to things you might need, like if you need food, this will point you to the food bank on campus. If you need to borrow a computer, that's there. If you need to check out a book and keep it all semester, it's there. So all that stuff is in there. And then, so I told you about the class, the book. So the book is kind of stresses people out a lot. And I put it in week one. Let me get to it. And so every week I have one page of content with a whole bunch of drop down tabs. And so this is the book that we're using. And I send that out in an email, and it's always in the announcement tab. So you can find out all the information about when I'm having Zooms and when the final is. And there's the book. So you can get any edition of this book. This book is getting really old and hard to get. It's 5 years old now, and there are no newer editions. And so if you can go Google out in the Google sphere and find a free version of it, that's fine too. I use this book for people who want to learn more about specific um, like types of curriculum, specific types of play. So it's like good information, but it doesn't have to be the brand new book to get the same information. And so that's why I keep using this old book. Um, but yeah, you don't need it. So what gets keeps get updated for this class is the framework book and those other books that I told you that California puts out. And so that's what changes. I have a lot of videos in my class. Um, Lots of videos, lots of links, and you just keep it moving. And so I give you lots of information, and you decide how much you need to get the concept. It's not all required. It's just I put it out there for the different kind of learning styles, and you decide what you need, but it's all there. And so this is kind of like the introductory week where I'm talking about all the different terms that I'm going to use throughout the class. And because again, I'm using, you see all those acronyms there, it gets kind of crazy. And so this kind of just introduces you to all of that. And then I start talking about curriculum in the next ones. And so because this class is so short, I teach you how to be as a teacher with children, and where to find everything you need to design curriculum. I can't teach you everything specifically about curriculum because we only have 8 weeks. So I'm going to teach you the curriculum planning process. I'm going to teach you how to approach it with children and how to observe them and see, so we're designing curriculum according to children's interests, and it's based on development. And so if you didn't take growth and development, you're going to need to use the other books to help you. Okay, and then what else did I need to tell you? So it's everything in the class that you need to know. I told you that already. And I give you 3 chances for every assignment. You can resubmit it twice. So if you totally bomb something, you can submit it again. I always give feedback and tell you why you missed the points you missed. And so a lot of times people don't know how to find the feedback. So let me go up here and, oh, you know what? It's not going to let me do it. Oh, we'll try. We'll try. Okay, so um, when you're in here, this is what yours will look like. And then you can click grades, and usually there's like a little speech bubble over here, and you click the speech bubble to get to your feedback, the feedback that I give you. A lot of students are using their phones, and so you just click the speech bubble if you want to get to that part. Because a lot of students keep turning in the wrong thing over and over, especially in this class. It's very important to read the feedback so you can get maximum points for the least amount of effort and stress. Okay. Are there any other questions? Did I leave something out? Okay. And so I'm going to be having weekly Zooms on Tuesday nights at 6:30. None of them are required. I always put the recording in the front. Let me give you an example here. I put it on the overview pages, and I post last year's video. So if you want to work ahead, you can use last year's video. Um, this particular semester, I just came off of a summer with a Black teacher pipeline, and all my students were Black and they're about to become family child care providers. And so I added a lot of stuff about how to serve Black and Brown children that's new, and it's not required, but it's really, and I thought about taking it out again, and I thought, no, I'm just going to leave it in because it's connected to research, and um, it's really good information to know how to serve Black children. And so it might be kind of weird when you're reading all this stuff because and I go on and on. Where do I start? It's not in week one, so it must be week two when it starts. But I talk about Black theorists, and where is it here? Week two, and I just basically I connect the dots for where it's all coming from. It must be here. Yes, here. And so what I do is I quote somebody and I connect it all, and then I put the link to the article. Like I linked a couple of scholarly articles about serving Black and Brown children, and so that's in here too. And again, it's all extra and just for your information, and it's not required for the class. Um, what did I want to? And another thing that I do in this class is at the end of every module or week, at the end of every week, I put in extra stuff. And again, it's all for your information and you don't have to do it, but it's here. And so I did I put a session for the book study. There's 6 of them, and it's for the book Don't Look Away, which was written by some Black scholars. And so each one has a different topic that's covered in the book about serving Black and Brown children. So this one's about social justice and the achievement gap or opportunity gap. And so that's all in there. And so I'm calling these study group instead of class because it's not really class. I don't I don't lecture at all. The class runs itself because it's an officially online class. And I also have a YouTube channel. And so sometimes you might see a link to a playlist for that week. And so maybe you want to listen to playlist while you're washing the dishes or something. I don't know, but that's in there too. Say that again. Well, the last time I made the playlist was like 3 semesters ago, so it's not up to date right now. I haven't updated it yet. So if I have time, I'll update it. Um, I'll add to my channel. Um, Most of the things on there are unlisted for my classes because I talk to you a lot. There's a lot of me talking in here, and so the videos themselves are unlisted, but the playlists are public. So if you go to my channel, you can see it'll say Child Development 66 or it'll say Child Development 87. And so you can sit there and listen to me talk. But like week one has like 30 videos. I mean, there's a lot of videos in here. And so that's why I keep saying they're not required, but some of you are visual learners and some aren't. And so that's why they're in here. Another thing I wanted to bring up was if oh, I don't see it here, so I'm going to go in back into one of these. So if you are not a reader and maybe reading hurts your eyes, my eyes hurt, I can't read anymore, I have to use screen readers. And so if the thing in Canvas is kind of new, so you might not know about it, and it's up here in the corner in the right, and it's called an immersive reader. And if you use that, there's a play button, and it'll read it to you. So you don't have to read it, and there's different speeds and different voices, and it'll read everything to you. So if reading is not your thing, you don't have to read to take this class. And all of my videos are um, on YouTube, and so it's got the Google Translate. I haven't. The first 2 weeks have the captions have been added to everything, uh, but in general, my little videos are just the normal Google Translate. All right. Did I answer everything there? And there's a link here. Let me make this bigger. I put a link to the Zoom right there, so you don't have to find it. And again, in announcements, look for the welcome one here. And that has all of your dates and everything you need to know. These are the dates of the Zooms. There's the dates of the final. There's alternate date for the final. Here's how to get, these are for people who've never been to City College, and so I tell them how to get get into Canvas is hard if you don't know. And then if you need academic um, accommodations, they're here in the book. And so all that is in, it's the one that says welcome in the title. All right. Any other questions? Well, it really depends. For this class, sometimes I don't like talking more than an hour, and sometimes it's done in 45 minutes. And the more videos I add, the less I talk and to explain things. So, but sometimes some of my students, I get a lot of returning students, not in this one, but in my other classes. And so they want me to tell stories. And so if they start asking me about stories, sometimes it'll be there like an hour and a half, but you never have to stay. And so it's I just stop when it feels like we're going to stop, but usually it's less than an hour. Yeah. Alrighty. So, any other questions? That was a good one, actually. As far as I know, I mean, it's crazy, and I don't. I stopped trying to fight with the computer. Never makes sense. It's never logical, and so you just. I mean, they tell you to go get a code from the teacher, and there's no code to give you. I don't know why the directions are there, and so I have people begging for a code. I'm like, I don't have a code to give you, and it's not nice. It's not nice. So, like I said, maybe the 24th they'll let people in. But like I said, I saw people in here. People are looking around, and but I still have 45 people on the list. So I'm thinking that once I post this video in here, maybe people will drop, but I'd say about half the class is logged in. And so we'll see how it goes. All right. So let me stop the recording here.